Today I wanted to talk about the Temptu Airbrush makeup system. This is the kit that I have. I purchased this 2 years ago from the Temptu website. I paid $230 for a kit. So what I got when I purchased this was this actual airbrush compressor, or I don't know what it's technically called. It comes with the airbrush wand. I also received a foundation pod, a blush pod, and a highlight. The application of the foundation, once you get used to it, is fairly simple. It doesn't take too long. After about 1 or 2 tries that you've tried to use it, you just have to hold it 4 to 6 inches away from your face, kind of tilt it down so the liquid foundation can come out. Push back on the lever and just apply it in circular motions. Pretty simple, pretty basic. It took me probably 2 tries before I was pretty comfortable using it. As far as the actual formula of the foundation that comes in these pods, it is a silicone-based foundation. So in and of itself, it's going to be heavier. It's going to be more dewier. It's going to have a dewy finish rather than a matte finish. I really, really like the look that you get. I am wearing it today. You get a very kind of, like a nice polished look, the way I see it. I really like it. It does have a scent, so when you turn it on, you push back the lever, you start feeling the air on your face. There is a definite scent that you can smell. I personally really like it. I think it's very pleasant, but it is somewhat strong. So for those of you that are sensitive, you may not like that. And I noticed that only with the foundation. I don't think that the blush or highlight has that scent. It's usually the foundation. So that's something to consider. The other thing about this foundation is it does take a very, very long time to set. So you put it on, you maybe wait 2-3 minutes. If you were to touch your face with your finger or with anything else, you would see a definite finger mark left over, which is one of my biggest pet peeves about foundation. It takes probably a good 30 minutes to set for it to be somewhat transfer proof. Once you wait that long amount of time, you still feel tacky. Your skin still feels like sticky to touch. Like, I've had this on for probably, I'd say 30 minutes at least, and you touch your skin and you feel like your finger is stuck to it. So that bothers me so much in foundations. I really want to feel like it's sealed and it's not going anywhere. With this one, you feel a tacky feeling. Another thing, like if you have your hair down, if there's wind, I would have little hairs just stuck to my skin, to my foundation. I feel like I have to be really, really careful to pry it, put it away from my face so I don't leave any marks on my face and I don't have any fingerprints left over on my foundation. So that's something that I've really noticed every single time that I wear it. As far as, how long a pod would last me, when I just initially bought it, I used it pretty much every day for, a few months. 1 pod with a full face every day lasted me about a month and a half. So it's $45 for 0.45 fluid ounces. That lasts you just over a month, maybe 2 months if you try to stretch it out, or maybe use a little less of the product. That is really, really expensive to me. I feel like you can buy a high-end, good quality foundation and it will last you anywhere at least 3-4 months, at least easily, and it will be in the same price range, but you will get double the use out of it. So that is the biggest, another big problem for me. You spend so much money and it only lasts you barely 2 months, barely. Unless you really don't need a lot of it, which I didn't find that I could, get away with that. As far as the longevity of the foundation, I think it looks great initially. You apply it, you know, it looks, I love the look and the finish of it personally. It looks dewy, it looks fresh, it lasts and looks great the first few hours. I tried to wear it all day yesterday, and you start noticing about halfway through the day, about after 6, maybe 5 hours of wearing it, you start noticing a little more oil, but it doesn't break down necessarily, doesn't look oily, it just looks more shiny and more dewy. So I definitely started noticing that. By the end of the day, I really could see that it's starting to break down. Now, my day is usually like 10 to 12 hours long because after work, I often have places that I go to and I'm still wearing my makeup. So after that long, you can definitely see, you know, if you touch your face, there are fingerprints and there's like chunks of foundation missing. So I definitely don't believe that it's a long wearing full day makeup. It never worked like that for me. And I don't even know if they claim that it's an all day wearing makeup. As far as the blush, I really don't have a whole lot to say. It looks great. They have several, you know, a variety of shade selections. As far as the product, I think it's great. It lasts all day. It doesn't break down. The only thing I did notice with some, and I don't know if it's because maybe I have had this for a couple years and maybe something, you know, it's not supposed to last that long, but sometimes when I apply it, I can see like specks of pink color, you know, on my face that doesn't look like blush. It just looks like paint specks were sprayed on my face. But other than that, I really like it. I don't really have a problem with it at all. I don't think it costs $30. I don't think it is quite $35 or $30, you know, product, but you know, it does what it needs to do, and I'm pretty happy with it. The last thing that I absolutely love about this whole system is the highlight. The highlight that I have, and I think the one that comes standard in most kits if you were to order it, is in champagne. So this is what it looks like through the pod. It is absolutely beautiful. The glow that it gives your skin, you could probably tell on my skin, is just beautiful. It gives you like a, you know, a glow, a translucent kind of pearl finish that I think is really hard to get with any other highlight that you can find, whether it's, you know, liquid, stain, or powder, you know, anything that's out there. I think it's pretty hard to get the same look. Tricky part with it is it's very, very, very easy to go overboard. You really don't need a lot of it, and if you kind of get carried away, you will look sweaty and shiny, and it will not look good. So you have to be super careful when you're applying the highlight to make sure that it is, you know, just a touch. But I absolutely love it. I couldn't, you know, rave about it more. So to sum up, I love the finish and the look of the foundation when you use it. That is my big and probably only positive. Is I love the look. I love how it sits on your skin and the look that it gives you initially when you put it on for the first few hours. That's kind of where it ends. The negatives is that it takes forever to set. Once it does set, it feels tacky still, and your hair always gets stuck in your foundation. It kind of breaks down after a few hours of wearing, probably 6-7 hours of wearing. And probably the biggest negative for me is the price. This thing, whoops, if you were to buy alone, would cost you $150, $170. Each pod would cost you another $45. And that is a lot. That is a lot of money. So that's kind of my take on it. I am happy that I have it. I enjoy it whenever I do pull it out to use it. I don't use it very often at all because, you know, it's just not super practical for everyday use. For special occasions, it's totally doable, but not everyday use. So that's kind of my take on it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making this video, and I haven't used this for probably over a year. And I thought I should probably pull it out and try it out and do a review about it, because I did so much research before I bought it, and it never compares to actually trying it out. Obviously, you never really know for sure what you're going to think about it until you try it out for yourself. but that's my take on it, and I hope it helped you guys a little bit. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.